for justice here in the Virgin Islands.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And one again, as I tell the people, as a candidate, as a former candidate for the Board of Elections, I share some of the similar sentiments that you've shared here. So continuing with that, the Board of Elections and the election system as a whole has been in some controversy lately, where leading up to the whole escapade that happened between Supervisor Fox and former candidate Ida Smith. And so I want to just know your take on it, as you as you guys are one of the leaders of People's Choice. What was your whole viewpoint on that whole situation?
Go ahead, Cleo.
Well, my point on that is I was the one who asked Ida to run. All right.
Hmm.
So Ida Ida decided she's gonna run. We went around and we got signatures, the 200 signatures, and Ida initially was on the as a candidate. Then she
Hmm.
received a letter from Carolyn Fox that told her that she's disqualified for whatever reasons. But if she disagrees with her ruling, she can contact the Board of Election. So she finally contacted the Board of Election. The Board of Election called a meeting, and the first meeting they spoke, and then they said they need advice from council. They contacted the AG, and I think on September 4th, the AG ruled that Ida Smith is qualified to be on the ballot.
Hmm.
That in that same meeting, Carolyn Fox disagreed and said, "Hey, the AG gave his opinion. We don't have
Hmm.
to take his opinion." So Carolyn Fox told them, and there, I'm gonna take you guys to court. So she went on vacation, I think for eight to 10 days, somewhere around that. She went on vacation. So the board was a little worried that if she's gonna sign the documents for the military, but she did. So she did all she had to do in September, and then in October is when we had the early voting, and early
Hmm.
voting started on Monday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, she filed a court case in court against the Board of Election.
Hmm.
So because about Ida. So because she took the board to court, I felt that she interfered with the election because the
Hmm.
election had already started when she did that. So right then and there, people wondering, does Ida belongs on the ballot or the Ida doesn't belong on the
Hmm.
ballot? So that became a problem. All right. And then I think in the newspaper they had Stacy Plaskett number 2 and Ida Smith number 2. So we don't know if that was an error or they did that spitefully. We don't know that. And
Hmm.
then we was asking for paper ballot. We want paper
Hmm.
ballot and we want to put it in a box. Um, VI Code Title 18, Chapter 19, Subchapter 5, Section 517 says that the supervisor of election shall furnish a ballot box to every polling site. So we didn't
Hmm.
understand why she was breaking the law. Why were you breaking
Hmm.
the law? If the law said that, so they call it an antiquated law. Well, our constitution was written in 1776. So if anything is antiquated, is our constitution. So
Hmm.
laws don't become antiquated. If you have a problem, you repeal the law or you amend the law, but the law doesn't become antiquated. So they was
Hmm.
writing on this thing, law is antiquated, law is antiquated. And our thing is, no, it is VI code, and we need
Hmm.
to stand up for our laws. So with Ida, so we think that Ida was disenfranchised because Carolyn Fox interfered with the election. And another thing she did, she weaponized the police department against the people of the Virgin Islands during the election because they end up arresting Peggy Moorhead. They call it legally detained or I don't know, but she had handcuffs on her and she was escorted out because Peggy Moorhead asked for paper ballot and where is the ballot box. So we feel a lot of mistakes was done intentionally, done to interfere with the election. As soon as the election was over, the judge ruled that Carolyn Fox cannot take the board to court. So right then and there, they didn't do it before, they did it after voting. So people that would have voted for Ida may not have voted for Ida because they believe, hey, Ida wouldn't be on the ballot. So I felt that Carolyn Fox and the Board of Election, they interfere with the election, and that is a no-no.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Dickinson, do you have anything to add to this conversation?
Well, and also, with all of that being said, I think here in the Virgin Islands, and more so with the Board of Elections, we choose the laws that we want to follow and what we don't want to follow. Everybody
Facts.
around here, I was talking about lies to your interpretation. The law is the law. Wear orange shirt on Tuesday, that's the law.
Mm-hmm.
Wear a blue belt on Wednesday, that is the law. The law is the law. It's not for your interpretation or mine. And I realize that wrong here. You choose laws to suit whatever agenda you have. That's what it is. And so I also think that Ida was disenfranchised very much in pursuit of leadership. I think it was a situation that was played out to benefit one side than the other. Because you and I and the whole Virgin Island can't see that we've been crying the same cry for the last 2 years and we put the same people back in.
Mm-hmm.
That's impossible. And so, and then here you come, you still have to question because here it is, Carolyn getting all these raises. She gave more raise than the entire government in a quick succession. And
Mm-hmm.
here it is, this commission that has just been in place recommend that she too is supposed to get a raise. How she getting that? She is being led by a board of election. That is her supervisor. They're the one who
Mm-hmm.
determines her pay. How she has gotten in this commission. So I think it's all a pay to play and you get pay scheme that's going on around here. But I say to you guys on the Virgin Islands, the time has come where we as a people have to stand up. Cleo and I have done our part and we will continue to do our piece. But we need the support of you. I don't work government, Cleo don't work government. We must out there fighting for government workers.
Mm-hmm.
And the only fear you can have is fear itself. What more you can see, you're working and you can't make it. So even if you get pushed off a little bit, it's not going to hurt you. The nurse that they fired from Wang Louis Hospital 2 years or 2.5 years ago, she won her case. She won her case. And so that I could imagine when she gets her compensation, she don't even have to work again for the rest of her life, I believe. And so sacrifice needs to be made for when you stand up and believe it, right? Cleo is going to be sworn in on the 15th of January. If we didn't
Mm-hmm.
stand up for what is true and right, she would have been illegally sworn in like the rest of them, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I forget to address you, Miss Liliana Belado O'Neill, since Liliana is Cleopatra Peter now. But I'm saying, if we didn't stand up for right, okay, Cleo wouldn't have a chance, the first chance, I say, to be sworn in on a legal day. The law is clear. It said nothing is supposed to take place on a Sunday or a holiday. Yes, it said the first Monday, but if the first Monday fall on a holiday, it can't go. It goes on a Tuesday, right? Just like sometimes a holiday fall on a Friday and we recognize it on a Monday, right? So let's do things right so we don't have to go and do it over. Let's do things that's legal. If we were doing right and stop thinking that the Virgin Island is ours and we could jump over any law, all these arrests and indictment that we have here wouldn't happen. They wouldn't happen because people would follow the law.
Thank you for sharing that.